Now, I've been very lucky in my life. I've interviewed some visionaries of gaming, and now I get to interview probably my favourite and the most talented man in voice acting. I'm selling you up a bit here. Mr. Billy West, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. I wouldn't say all those things, but I'm glad you did.
Well, I guess let's do the roll call of things people know. Doug.
Well, Doug was, painfully shy 11-and-a-half-year-old, and this is my dog, Pork Chop. And, here comes Roger Klotz. Hey, loser, it's election time, so vote for this.
Ren and Stimpy.
Hey, Ren, will you button me?
Well, shut up, you fool! Yes, I shall kill you!
I'm enjoying this way too much. I guess, of course, Mr. Fry from Futurama.
Greetings from the year 3000. It still sucks.
Zapp Brannigan.
Yabo! Hey, Zapp Brannigan's Guide to Making Love with a Woman.
The Professor.
Good news, everyone. Bad news. I just farted dust.
And, of course, one of my favourites, Dr. Zoidberg.
Need an autograph? Why not Zoidberg?
Now, the reason I got you to do that is just to highlight to people how much of their childhood you've been a part of. I mean, how does it feel to be, I guess, so influential in the way people view media at a young age?
It's very surreal. I mean, one of the time-space continuum stories out of all this is it was 10 o'clock the other night. I left the TV on, and I heard all this screaming and yelling, and I was like, I had the pillow over my head, and I was trying to go, like, what are they showing people here? And I wake up, and it's Ren and Stimpy. And so I woke myself up thinking it was the most vile noise and crap I ever heard in my life. So I guess it still works.
That's very, very true. Well, besides those roles, you've obviously been picked up to a lot of, I guess, classic roles. I mean, you've taken over from Mel Blanc as the voice of things like Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd. How does it feel to be considered like a man of that kind of esteem? I mean, it's an honor. Mel Blanc was one of the greatest of our industry.
Mm-hmm. I met him one time, and it was like that painting, where the God is touching, it's like, hi, that's another surreal thing is when you are thrown in place of where one of your idols stood. I never wanted to be the next Mel Blanc. I wanted to be like the best Billy West I could be, and.
But I got to work with Michael Jordan, Doc. The closest thing to a religious figure that we have.
I'm loving this way too much. I guess moving on from that, you started off in radio. You worked for Howard Stern show, which was certainly something unique. What made you go from radio to I guess more pure voice acting, if you will?
Well, because there's no money in radio, and the chances of me making a lot of money in radio were slim to none, and Slim just left town, so. I just had to announce to them that I wanted to move on. I had no idea what I was going to do. Yeah. He was like, what are you going to do, sell your house? And I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, idiot. No, he was great to work with, and I enjoyed it. I haven't seen anybody from the show in a long time, except for Jackie Martling, who we email each other, and he keeps sending jokes, and yeah.
That's really cool. I guess, like, going forward, being, I guess, an elder statesman of the craft and someone who's as accomplished as yourself, I mean, what are you hoping that people take forward? Like, is there something you want to see, I guess, voice acting and animation, like, is there a path you want to see it go down?
I'm seeing it happen already at these conventions. A lot of people have been inspired to become voiceover performers, and I'm like, that's the greatest thing in the world. That's kind of one of the reasons you do it is so you could inspire other people. And, celebrities doing voices for stuff, I mean, it'll never go away, but they will overlook, like, seriously talented voiceover people for a star. And when I was growing up, and this is the honest truth, is my heroes weren't celebrities. My heroes were artists, like Les Paul on guitar, and Jeff Beck, and Michelangelo, and Da Vinci. Artists were my heroes, and so celebrity has nothing to do with anything. And I've always been sort of like, that never mattered to me. Just didn't,
Well, and I guess being the talented man you are, you're also a well-accomplished musician as well. You've done lots of music and worked in a lot of different bands. I mean, how do you find time to do it all? Or you don't? You just squeeze it all in somehow?
It's happened over a bunch of years. I'm 60, so I had a lot of time to do all this stuff. I actually played with one of my idols, Brian Wilson. and I played lead guitar in his band for a while, and he was the closest thing to an angelic being I ever met in my life. You know, he was just, the music is still all there, and I couldn't believe I'm sitting with the guy that wrote Good Vibrations and God Only Knows, and I was like, I didn't know how to talk to him. You know, that to me, those are the people that shook the world. You know, he was not big celebrity. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to wrap it up there. Billy West, an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
That's all for air, folks.